and Caitlin Clark front row at the Prada show for Milan Fashion Week. Obviously, Caitlin Clark has been working with Prada since at least draft day.
Caitlin Clark just pulled up in Milan at the Prada fashion show front row, and the internet absolutely lost it. But here's the part most people aren't putting together yet. This wasn't just a random celebrity cameo. This feels like the start of something way bigger between Clark and one of the most powerful luxury brands in the world. And when you start looking at the possible numbers involved, it gets kind of wild. Do you think Caitlin Clark is building the most valuable personal brand in women's sports right now? Or is somebody else closer to that crown? Drop your take in the comments. First, let's clear something up. When Caitlin Clark walked into Milan's Fondazione Prada on February 26th and sat front row at the Fall 2026 show, dressed head-to-toe in Prada next to Olympic champion Eileen Gu, that was not random. That was not a last-minute fill-in because somebody canceled. That moment was the latest step in a connection between Clark and Prada that's been quietly building since she entered the pro ranks. And it's pointing towards something the WNBA and the larger sports world are only starting to understand. Luxury fashion houses don't seat athletes front row at major Milan shows just to be nice. They do it because they see long-term value, real value. And when a brand as selective and strategic as Prada keeps aligning itself with the same athlete again and again, you're not watching a one-off styling moment. You're watching the early phase of a relationship that could turn into something official and very serious. So let's rewind, because the full story is bigger than just one night in Milan.
I went with Prada. I think Prada's like very me, very like, I don't know. I'm a pretty simple girl, but Prada's never dressed a WNBA player or NBA player for the draft, so it's very fun. Got the simple white and then sparkly on the inside. But yeah, really fun. Got the bag, got the slick shoes, so yeah.
April 2024 draft night. Caitlin Clark walks into the WNBA draft as the #1 overall pick, and she's wearing Prada. Not just a piece here and there. The entire look. White jacket, shimmering silver crop top, white miniskirt, black pointed toe heels. All Prada. She even told reporters on the orange carpet that Prada had never fitted an NBA or WNBA player for the draft before. She was the first. She knew it, and she said it out loud. And she wore it like someone who understood that the moment was about more than basketball. Reaction was instant. Social media filled up with the same line over and over: Caitlin Clark is so Prada. Not just that she looked good, not just that the outfit worked. People were saying she and the brand felt aligned. The energy, the vibe, the attitude, it all matched in a way that didn't feel forced. For a luxury label, that kind of organic cultural moment is more valuable than a traditional ad campaign. You can't manufacture that kind of connection. And you better believe the brand noticed.
Is Caitlin Clark in custom Prada for a time event? The fact that it's simple, it's timeless, but the back makes it so special and interesting. Of course, high fashion. She's gonna be in a Prada campaign soon though, I promise. It's Prada, so obviously the silhouette is fantastic, but this dress feels so Caitlin in the style that we've seen from her. It's minimalist, it's classy, it's timeless. The back is a freaking moment. I love that, and I love that Prada did a custom look. Obviously, follow if more women's basketball fashion news, but what do you think?
All through her first season with the Indiana Fever, Clark kept showing up to games in Prada tunnel walk outfits that kept the conversation going. One night it was a simple white tank with strappy cargo pants and that subtle Prada triangle logo. Another time it was a full denim Prada set with a classic black nylon Prada bag. It wasn't random. Her stylist was clearly building a visual storyline across the season. And that storyline kept circling back to the same brand. Every game meant cameras. Every tunnel walk clip turned into its own piece of content. Then the Milan invite came. On February 26th, Clark is front row at the Fall 2026 Prada show in a cropped striped polo, high-waisted trousers with a Prada belt, a small top handle bag, a wool coat draped over her shoulders, and pointed toe heels that echoed the silhouette she wore on draft night. That callback didn't happen by accident. It felt intentional, like a full-circle moment told through clothes. Sitting next to her was Eileen Gu, the Olympic gold medalist who's become one of the most recognizable young athletes in the world. That pairing said something. It signaled the type of athlete Prada sees as its future: young, accomplished, culturally relevant, and genuinely interested in fashion. Not just wearing it for a paycheck. Now let's talk about the business side, because that's where this gets serious. The pattern here looks a lot like the early stages of a formal partnership. Exclusive draft styling, repeated tunnel walk looks, a Milan show invite, front row seating. Each step suggests a deeper level of investment from the brand. In luxury fashion, that kind of escalation usually leads somewhere official. So what could a Caitlin Clark and Prada deal actually be worth? Start with her audience. Clark's fan base is massive and stretches far beyond traditional WNBA viewers. A lot of her followers came to women's basketball specifically because of her. Many of them are young and many are women. That's exactly the demographic luxury brands are trying hardest to reach right now. The traditional luxury customer base is aging. Brands know they need fresh cultural figures who can introduce them to a new generation in a way that feels natural. Clark does that without trying. Her tunnel walk clips rack up millions of views from people who aren't even fashion fans. They're watching because they're fans of her. But while they're watching, they're also absorbing the brand she wears. Every time she steps into a building in Prada, millions of people see that brand through her lens. That kind of exposure has enormous marketing value. And right now it's happening without a publicly confirmed long-term deal. If an official partnership happens, the ceiling rises. Custom pieces, campaign shoots, maybe even product collaborations. There's already chatter about what a Caitlin Clark signature Prada sneaker could look like. When you combine the fashion crowd, the sports world, and the collector market, the revenue potential climbs fast. People have floated numbers in the $100 million range for a long-term luxury partnership. Of this scale, that might sound huge, but when you factor in global reach, multi-year timelines, and cross-market appeal, it's not unrealistic. We've seen major apparel deals in men's sports reach similar or higher territory. Clark already has a major footwear partnership in motion elsewhere. Adding a powerhouse luxury house to her portfolio would put her at the intersection of elite sport and high fashion in a way we haven't really seen before at this level for a female athlete. The timing matters too. The WNBA is dealing with labor negotiations and uncertainty around the 2026 season. Players are waiting to see how it all plays out. During that pause, Clark is in Milan, she's at fashion shows. She's playing in Pro-Am golf events. She's building the off-court side of her brand. That's not distraction. That's strategy. Athletic careers are short. The athletes who build something lasting are the ones who understand that early and move accordingly. The comparison to Eileen Gu is important. Gu has built a brand that moves across sports, fashion, and business all at once. She's valuable to luxury houses because she doesn't fit in a single box. Clark appears to be building toward that same kind of multi-layered presence. And fashion is a key piece of that puzzle. Being seen at Prada in Milan next to someone like Gu isn't just a nice photo op. It places Clark in a specific cultural context. In luxury, context is everything. Who you're seen with, where you're seen, what you're wearing. It all shapes the narrative around your personal brand. Clark's narrative has been built carefully. It started on draft night in that white Prada look. It continued through consistent tunnel walk moments. It escalated to a front row seat in Milan. And it feels like it's moving towards something formal and financially significant that, a few years from now, might make those nine-figure rumors seem obvious. There will always be critics who say she should just focus on basketball. They said it when she showed up at off-season events. They'll say it about Milan, they'll say it about whatever comes next. But building a brand in the off-season isn't neglecting the game. It's protecting your future. Every athlete's playing career ends. The ones who thrive long after are the ones who planned ahead. Clark looked like she understood that the night she stepped onto the orange carpet in Prada. She showed it through every tunnel walk. And she reinforced it when she sat front row in Milan, watching the fall 2026 collection go by. The league gave her the stage. Fashion might help her build what comes after. Caitlin Clark went to Milan, sat front row at Prada, and reminded everyone she's creating something bigger than basketball. This connection has been building for 2 years, and it feels like it's just getting started. If you want to keep tracking where this goes next, stay tuned.